Hi, I'm Charlie Llewellyn from Texas Monthly, and I wrote the cover story of the August 2008 issue called Springs Eternal. And the number one swimming hole in Texas, according to that story, and therefore according to me, is Barton Springs. And this is it, Barton Springs. Beautiful 3-acre pool here in central Austin. Of course, it's probably not even 90 degrees, and even though it's mid-July, it's a little overcast, so there aren't many people here. This is kind of cool for Austin in July. But it gives you a sense of, hopefully, how beautiful it is, surrounded by pecan trees. In fact, the pool has nothing to do with the creek. The creek is empty most of the time, but the springs flow all the time. 27 million gallons a day. I find it hard to believe that number. And the main springs is right under the diving board just behind me. And if you dive down there, there's a cave and you can actually feel the water flowing out. The springs is actually part of Zilka Park, which is named after Colonel Andrew Zilka, and he donated the land to the city. He actually made his money bottling Coca-Cola, which I think is kind of ironic that a Coca-Cola bottler should be the one to give Austin the gift of this much water. The land was owned by Uncle Billy Barton, and that's why it's called Barton Springs, after Uncle Billy Barton. And he was the man who named the springs. He named the main spring Parthenia after his daughter. And that's the spring just behind me that pumps out all that water and keeps it going. The Native Americans came here. They called this the Sacred Springs. The water is always 68 degrees year-round. You can swim in it on New Year's Day, which I have done, and it's still 68 degrees. So that's kind of chilly when you first dive in. Barton Springs became a city park in 1917 and then was added on, and these dressing rooms were built in the 30s, and they're just a great example of architecture from that time. Open air dressing room, just had a man obviously from a foreign country walk in going, "Where do I change?" Showed around and said, "Oh," he said, "Oh, outside." Okay, I'm sitting outside the main entrance of Barton Springs, right there. And this statue was set here in 1994, and it is of three famous literary Texans, J. Frank Dobie, Walter Prescott Webb, and Roy Bedichek, who were Texas writers and intellectuals who enjoyed sitting at the springs, swimming, chatting, talking about life.